Blockbuster should still be around. Maybe not in the way we remember them, maybe not as a DVD rental store, but they should still be a giant in the streaming industry. But they're not. Let's rewind back to the early 2000s, where movie rental stores reigned supreme, and the best way to spend a Friday night as a kid was heading to your local Blockbuster. From action flicks to comedy and everything in between, Blockbuster had it all, and the process of picking out a physical movie to take home felt almost sacred. But seemingly overnight, Blockbuster was ripped from our hands. What happened to Blockbuster? Yeah, sure, they went bankrupt, but how did a multi-billion-dollar company vanish so quickly? Before we jump into the rise and eventual fall of Blockbuster, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the nostalgic throwbacks of Ripley's Rewind. Okay, back to Blockbuster. At its peak, Blockbuster owned over 9,000 stores in the United States, had 65 million registered customers, and was valued at $3 billion. Believe it or not, in 1 year, Blockbuster raked in over $800 million worth of late fees alone. So how did a company with such booming success all but disappear in a little over a decade? Blockbuster was started by David Cook. Cook saw the potential in the video rental business, and after opening the first Blockbuster in 1985, he saw quick success and opened 3 more stores in the next year. Blockbuster quickly cornered the video rental market and separated themselves from other stores through their creative marketing and innovative barcode system. Most video stores at the time could only keep track of a few hundred video titles per store. Blockbuster, however, could keep track of 10,000 VHSs per store. Their signature barcode system not only allowed them more tracking analysis, but also provided them with more potential to collect late fees, which meant more money that can be invested into expanding. Eventually, Cook ended up leaving the company, and one of the 3 major investors, Wayne Huizenga, took over. With Huizenga in charge, an aggressive expansion campaign was mounted that involved both buying out competitors and opening new Blockbuster stores at an unbelievable pace. At the peak, the chain was opening stores at a rate of 1 per day. As Blockbuster continued to explode, executives worried about rising cable companies potentially threatening their business model. Blockbuster even went as far as considering purchasing one, but ultimately never came around. Believe it or not, Blockbuster was expanding at such a rate during this period, they even considered opening up an amusement park in Florida after having received approval from the Florida State Legislature. Although the idea, like the cable buyout, would ultimately be scrapped, and this one probably for good reason. In 1994, Blockbuster was sold to Viacom for a whopping $8 billion. At this point, I'm sure I've left you even more confused at how this corporate behemoth was able to disappear off the face of the earth after establishing itself so deep within our culture. Well, in just 2 years under Viacom's ownership, Blockbuster's value was cut in half, the first of many major mistakes. Meanwhile, Netflix had just opened its digital doors and at this early stage was only delivering DVDs. Blockbuster would make another major mistake and pass on acquiring Netflix for $50 million. Even though Netflix was considered a threat, Blockbuster felt positive they would come out dominant in the end. We now know Blockbuster, that was a big mistake. Whew. Man, oh man. To say Blockbuster missed the on-demand digital wave would not be totally accurate, as they partnered with Enron, yeah, that Enron, if you know you know, for a digital on-demand streaming service. The partnership ultimately failed though, as Blockbuster didn't show much interest in putting significant time into the partnership, and Enron faced internal struggles. As the up-and-comers of the industry began to abandon late fees and focus heavily on delivery by mail service, Blockbuster was slow in the jump, continuing to focus on their physical stores and waiting nearly 5 years to start its own online delivery service. As Netflix was making record profits and expanding into a revolutionary streaming platform, Blockbuster mainly continued to focus on revamping their stores, and in 2009 posted a loss of over $500 million. At this stage, the floodgates opened, partnerships began to flee, they were delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, and Blockbuster was experiencing a fall from grace unlike anything ever seen before. As fast as Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime rose, Blockbuster crashed. Maybe the most painful note is that if Blockbuster had embraced the changing industry rather than doubling down, they likely would have been a giant. As part of the $50 million Blockbuster Netflix buyout offer, Netflix would have run the Blockbuster brand online, meaning the Blockbuster brand would have forged ahead into streaming with all of the institutional connections and support alongside Netflix's digital build-out. Ultimately, the failure of Blockbuster came down to the company's disinterest in moving with the changing industry in any substantial way. Blockbuster had all the power at their fingertips to be at the forefront of the streaming wave. But through doubling down on their strategies and trying everything but what consumers desired, they managed to run a corporate giant into the ground in just a few years. So there you have it. From a multi-billion-dollar company to a refusal to adapt to a changing industry, Blockbuster managed to wipe itself from the face of the earth in an unbelievably short period of time. I'm sure there's some of you out there that may not even remember Blockbuster, which, to be completely honest, makes me a little sad. Let me know in the comments below if you were a Blockbuster user and if any part of you misses the nostalgia of video rental stores. Until next time, I'm Jordan Neese, and this is Ripley's Rewind.